one of the things that really bothered me over the last couple of games was the fact that Nwaneri wasn't coming onto the pitch as a substitute. It was really strange with the fact that we needed goals in a lot of those games, and unfortunately he just didn't come on. Now, maybe we're trying to do something different, maybe something might have happened for a reason to why he isn't coming on, but it's strange. I don't know why that is the case, and it got me thinking, it got me wondering, and I managed to come up with a little theory about why Nwaneri isn't playing. Now, in order to talk about the story, we have to go back to Martin Odegaard, and we have to talk about the position that Arteta has played throughout the season on that right hand side. You see, there's been a big debate now on why Martin Odegaard isn't shooting, and a lot of it can come down to Mikel Arteta and his instructions and his tactics and what he tells the players to do when they're on that pitch. And I think there is a stark difference between Martin Odegaard and Nwaneri when you see either of them on the pitch, and I think that could be a big reason why Nwaneri decided to be put on the right wing position where Saka was at. And when Nwaneri plays on that right wing position, he has more freedom, he's able to shoot more, attack more, and do all those sorts of things. But when Odegaard plays on that right mid position or that right centre mid position, he isn't allowed to shoot, he isn't allowed to take as many risks. He's more on the case of being a cog in a system where it's essentially get the ball out wide, get it to Saka, just pass it instead of shoot it. And that's the thing that we've been seeing throughout this entire season, where Odegaard has been passing the ball a lot more compared to shooting it, and that's why we're seeing the numbers of what we're seeing right now. So I think that with Nwaneri, when he comes into that cam position or that right wing position, he's shooting a lot more compared to Martin Odegaard. And I think from Arteta's side, because he may not be following the tactics, that could be a reason why he isn't playing as much games now. Because with managers, they're very stubborn, they're very, if you don't do it my way, then you're not in the team at all. And I think that may be the case for Nwaneri, but we haven't heard anything in the squad or in this entire season about Nwaneri, and everything seems to be going okay. But I think that's just a theory where in that right centre mid position, maybe they're just, another possible reason could be maybe they're just holding him back. Maybe they just don't want to play him too much, because he has played a lot of games this season. And I think that even in the next 2 games that Arsenal need to play, I think it'll be good if he gets minutes, because the more minutes he gets, the more exposure he'll get into the Premier League and the more he will develop. But I think that could be a big reason why he isn't really coming onto the pitch. Maybe it could be due to the first reason which I talked about, where he might not be following the manager's instructions to a T. Another reason maybe could be just he's just being protected. But I think that with the things that have been coming out about Martin Odegaard and that position and why he doesn't shoot as much, and the possible tactics and instructions given by the manager, a lot of people can have their opinions on it, on whether it benefits or provides a lot of drawbacks. For me, I think that it's stupid that Martin Odegaard isn't shooting that much, because he's one of the main focal points in the team. He's the captain, he's the leader, he's one of the main players on that offensive line. And if you just pass it all the time, then you become predictable. And when you become predictable, other teams find out. And that's why Arsenal have gotten themselves into a lot of positions lately where they didn't really have a plan B, because they just kept doing the same thing over and over and thinking it was going to do something good, but it didn't in a lot of the cases. And if you get teams such as, I don't know, Everton or Bournemouth or whatever, who know how Arsenal play, or Newcastle, or just any team, then when you play them enough, then you'll get to know what tactics they're going to do and how they're going to play. And that's essentially what has happened. And I'm not talking about just that position, but just because we're talking about Nwaneri and Odegaard in that position, we're just focusing on that in this particular video. But I think that with Martin Odegaard especially, I don't know whether he's sacrificed having to score goals for the team or for the tactics or whatever it is, but for me, I think that's the wrong decision, because when you're in a position to score, or when you're in a position to get a good shot at goal, you need to take it, because how else are you able to score goals, especially if you don't have a striker in your team? We need to get goals somewhere, and we saw a lot of goals coming out of defense. But ideally, if your attack isn't scoring enough goals, then you need to get it from midfield, and Martin Odegaard's one of the players to do it. And it's strange, it's really strange what's going on, especially with the tactics, and I don't think I'll ever understand it. I don't think, with football nowadays, a lot of things have changed compared to before, but it's just one of the new things we get to see in the Premier League, and especially in football today. But that's why I think Nwaneri isn't playing. But will he come back? Is it as bad as Aubameyang or anything like that? No, it's not. I think it just needs a bit of time, needs to get used to the tactics. I think by next season, when certain additions come into the squad, whether it's Zubimendi or whoever, we're going to see a better Odegaard, and Odegaard Odegaard we all know, and we might even see Ethan Nwaneri go up another level, which I hope he does. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the whole Nwaneri situation and Odegaard, and just the instructions given this season. I just don't think it's worked out. It's as simple as that. But yeah, that's the end of this video. Hope to see you all soon. There'll be a lot of new transfer news that's been coming soon, especially with the season coming to an end, and it will be nice to see the thousands of players Arsenal will be linked with. So that'll be fun. Anyhow, hope to see you all soon.